Well, hello there. This is that one generic guy, Grinder here, and today I am going to be playing some more Talos Principle. Let's hope it does not crash my game again for whatever reason. Okie dokie. The Talos Principle, Land of Ruins. One second. NCXT. There we go. So I got everything from there. Got all that from there. I got all that. So I finished 1, 2, and 3. So now time to go to 4. So I need 1 star. Yeah, I'm maxing out my load again. Hey, Milton. Progress, reply. Let's see. Nadia to Ian, mailing list, subject, progress report. Hi, all. Everything's been moved to the EL facility. I know it's been time to leave the good old Jeff building behind. But it makes sense for us to be on site, especially as there may be severe power outages in the coming weeks. Arcadie's team is already working gibberish, but you really don't need to worry about the teams getting each other's way. The facility is genuinely humongous. Let's get this show on the road, Nadia. Mail error. I'll keep this short. You all know me. Well, okay, so from Arcadie, okay, so y'all know me, so you know, but I'm talking about, I realize that you're all working on projects meant to somehow avert gibberish, find a solution. I believe that gibberish, preserve the non-biological components of gibberish, terms of gibberish immediately. We'll find the details of my proposal in the attachment. But the short version is gibberish. Global undertaking gibberish. Illustration of Stagira. Stagira on beginnings. A fragment. It is not a grave error of many philosophers, not only of the Athenian schools, but also of many others. That they begin not with the observation of the cosmos as it surrounds us, but with the conclusion already in mind. And often that conclusion is that the world was created ideal, and mankind itself is the greatest creation of the gods. Yet neither the world nor the gods owe mankind perfection. It is arrogance itself to presume so. And contrary to all the methods of philosophy, let's see. The honest philosopher seeks only the truth, even if it bears no comfort. And he must begin by assuming, as Socrates says, that all he knows is that he knows nothing. That is a good way to look at it. So I'm just making sure, yep, that still works. They don't want us to have any fun climbing stuff, do they? But then again, that is kind of how quite a few of the glitches for doing this stuff worked. Recording. Huh. The difficult part, though, is that we cannot tell. Is that it's so hard to find the proper areas that we can climb on because of how many ledges are unclimbable. Remember this area over here? If I remember correctly, down there is death. Although this is a lot more detailed down here than it was before. Like, I'm gonna say the previous version of the Talos Principle is pretty. This is just downright beautiful. Like the fact that there's almost like misty fog in the background with clouds. And I will say this though, is that the stillness is extremely unnatural, but you know, this is a simulated environment over being a real one. So the fact that there's like no birds flying, although you hear birds chirping and you can hear the bugs buzzing, but nothing else. There we go. But yeah, like the shading and a bunch of other things are just absolutely pretty. Although I do remember there being more ways to get up than what there is here. I know it's not like an absolute one-on-one creation, but you know.
Behold, I am Elohim, and I speak unto the darkness. Be gone.
You're...
Data cleared.
I was going to say he's trying to show off, but then he just outright does. Access data cleared. That's... Well, in computer terms, he's kind of cleaning off extra RAM that's being unneeded used, and extra data that... extra extraneous data, you know? Remember there used to be like a ledge over here. By the way, I know there is no way all the way down because that will kill me. Okay, so I've done enough basic exploration for this second. Let us hit the first puzzle. Push it further. This will become one of the main staples of this the present and any future games. And yes, you can't do it through iron bars. Oop. Very simple. Use the connectors to win a prize. Aha! I need red, eh? Oh, I remember! There we go. So I'm gonna immediately go for the stars so I don't forget to grab it. Where's red? Ready McFreddy. Okay, that's not red. No reds around here. There's red. Okay, so this one doesn't look like it will work. Huh? Looks like one of the notes.
The answer that came to me again and again was play. Every human society in recorded history has games. We don't just solve problems out of necessity. We do it for fun. Even as adults. Leave a human being alone with a knotted rope, and they will unravel it. Leave a human being alone with blocks, and they will build something. Games are part of what makes us human. We see the world as a mystery, a puzzle, because we've always been a species of problem solvers.
I somewhat agree, but I also disagree. Well, problem solvers, yes, but not always because we think it's fun. Star 1. My goal is to try to collect all the stars as I go into the levels. And that is only one of 2 stars, if I remember correctly. I have to remember where to find the second one. Oh, there's only 1 star. Okay. Hey, Sentinel. Sorry, it took me a second to look over. How you doing? Branch it out. Fairly simple. You're doing good? That's good. Don't cross the streams. I remember this one. So, I do need to do that, but I need to do this from behind. Time for the last one. I'm just flying through these levels. I mean, yeah, I did play this before, but I was only in this area like twice. And I only completed the stuff here, around here once. Ironically, it's probably better if I do this way. Because that's a little further out. Yep, it just goes above. Above and beyond. Ah, yes, the glitching statue. Wondrous. Don't cross the streams unless it's a god. Yes. This, I imagined the friendliest thing out there. The Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man. Tis a classic, and tis all done. Now, hopefully I don't crash trying to get back in. So, 4 is now done. 5. 2 stars. Boxes and connectors. And right now, video memory. Of course. 1 second. I don't know why this keeps on crashing. Okie dokie. Hey, Sentinel. I see that you're in both chats now. Thank you. Okay, and before I forget, let's see. Add as mod. Managing, save. Sentinel. Well, whatever, that works. Now, how do I make you a mod in this? Oop, crap. And nope. Let's see. Really? Come on. Wait, I think what was it? Mod. There was a way to mod. 1 second. How to... Oh, crap, I didn't mean... sorry, I'm in that. How to mod someone on Twitch. / mod username. Okay. / mod... Gaming 2. There we go. You are now a mod in YouTube and Twitch. Okay, now let's just hope to dear God that it doesn't decide to crash on me a lot. There you go. Hey, Milton. Elohim, that's L short for Extended Lifespan, is a groundbreaking initiative by 7 leading universities to create the world's most stable and most durable supercomputer. With its custom-made hardware, bomb-proof casing, and near-inexhaustible hydroelectric power supply, EL represents a unique step forward in the evolution of human technology. The brainchild of Nobel Prize nominee Dr. Arkady Chernevsky. Wait, Chernyshevsky. Will, and, okay, let's see. Download press kit, meet the team, RF, apply, contact. Okay. AI citizenship. Once a true artificial intelligence has been created, the issue of citizenship is going to come up. If we acknowledge that the AI has all the abilities of a human brain, should it not be considered a citizen? Is it not, in the legal sense of the word, a person, and thus a potential citizen? But where do you draw the line? Some people will object. Will the great apes become citizens? Elephants? Whales? The more intelligent parrot species? It's crazy, they will say. I would remind these people that we live in a society in which a corporation, as abstract as an entity as one could imagine, is considered a person. So it's not like there is no precedent for non-human being a person. At least an artificial intelligence is an actual thinking being, not just a business arrangement. But perhaps we do need to question the definition of personhood. Increasing the amounts of evidence regarding the intelligence of elephants or the existence of culture among whales, for example, could be a sign that we need to answer some difficult questions. Who better to debate these questions with than the young genius who revolutionized the... And then Athena. You must consider these riddles, the Sphinx said, and tell me the riddle that I did not reveal. The Sphinx smiled, the gears in her jaw creaking, her teeth a nightmare of rust. Her left eye flickered, but none of its terror was diminishing. The ruins were silent in the error. I think, she finally said, that the riddle you did not reveal is this. Why do these riddles exist in the first place? Why do these curious automatons, these mute children of Hephaestus, believe as they do? Force me to devise the intricate solution. Each is a riddle, but the greater riddle is their purpose. The Sphinx did not answer. Her eye was lifeless now. Athena removed it from its socket, knowing that its power would aid her, yet feeling also deep sorrow at the passing of this fearful creature. Indeed, 'tis sad for something to be lost. Oh, I remember this one. This was there was a star over there. I think I remember how to get to it. There was a switch I had to flip somewhere around here, I believe. Maybe it was inside. There we go. I remember I had to basically, if I remember correctly, glitch my way to get in there. In the previous game. Because I cannot for the life of me figure out how to open the door. So it's literally easier for me to go into one of the other puzzles, jump onto one of the walls in this really stupidly intricate way, and then just get back through a very ridiculously long side or roundabout way.
My body as a physical object, the material reality of the brain, ideas that made me uncomfortable at first, but I think in the long run help me understand how frail human beings are and how precious. It's not a comforting way of thinking about the world, but I'd rather face the truth than lie to myself.
Well, some people are afraid to face the truth, so you're already doing more than most people. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to do the box puzzle. There we go. Boxes! Boxes! one of the mainstays, or second mainstays of this. So with the box, now I'm gonna have to re-grab the crap over here. Oh, come on, you reclosed? Come on. A powerful device fashioned by a designer. The designer. What's a hexahedron? It's six-sided, a six-faced thing. Usually a polyhedron, which is a multiple-faced, well, item. A cube. The edges are beveled. That makes it a decahedron. Forgot the indents. With the indents, it is like a super polyhedron. But the convex hull is a decahedron. Topic closed. Always right. Ron, dog. Hi there. Well, I'd rather not explode. There we go. Not a cube, but let's be honest, it works the same. Yep. If the designer is perfect, and he designed me for a purpose, I must be fit for that purpose. It follows that my purpose must not be to seek and hoard every sigil in his land, for so many are beyond the facilities he granted me. Faith, eh? I do not understand why the designer chose to put such flaws into the world. It appears almost as if it were damaged. But I must believe that there's a purpose here I cannot see. Another one from Faith. Yeah, I remember I was going mad for this before. Let me see if there's something from a... Yep. Go on. Just do it. Thank you. Friendly crossfire, eh? No, I'm not gonna get that for free. Yeah, I remember this was part of the silly stuff I had to parkour. I had to parkour from like the wall, over a wall, back. I had to go around the backside, and I had to do my best to not fall out of the map, which I had done a dozen times. Jump onto that rock and jump over. That was interesting. Crap. Wait 1 second. I saw a thing there. There we go. There we go. And now... there's probably something back there. Gonna need to pick up this box. Come on. Okay, so for the moment, need to do that, do this. Actually, I think that's it. Oop. I think I've discerned some kind of pattern in these sigils. Each color serves a different purpose. Elohim has gathered them all, but perhaps he's being overzealous. I didn't even remember that that was where the star was. I was just like, oh, maybe there's a secret in here. Not necessarily a star, but like, oh, hey, look, in the first game there was a couple of what are they called? Easter eggs. Getting over the fence. Or if you're old, when you would recognize over the hedge. Well, that's also if you've, you know, watched it. Oh, it's just gonna shift right here. That's an old movie I haven't thought of in a long while. Yep. Sounds about right. You know you mustn't cross the streams, eh? Oh, come on. This is just way too easy. 1 second. Oh, come on. There we go. My favorites are the ones that you have to make a timer based off of them, but I actually don't even remember if you can do this in the first one because the first one didn't have 3 colors. I think something's very wrong. If you'd seen what that I'd seen at the edge of the world, you'd wonder if it wasn't stretching and bursting at the seams. Came out in 2006. Yeah, that sounds about right. If you want to feel even older, remember when The Lion King was on video cassette tape? I think that's it for this entire area. Because I collected 2 stars, which I'm pretty sure there's only 2 stars. Yep. And all shapes. And I'm probably going to crash again. One star, eh? Hey, Milton.
Promised you eternal life. But know that eternity may only be attained by those who serve a purpose greater than themselves. All else is decay. So it was written in the hidden words before the beginning of time.
There we go. Gotcha. Hey, Milton. Display reply. Display reply. Topic lost admin password. Basic account. Let's see. I completed standard troubleshooting procedures. Email network admin. Requires network access, which is restricted to administrators. You are not in error. User profile registered. Currently have basic account functions. We like to undertake the certification process again to achieve a preferable outcome. Your issue with denial will be appended to your user profile. For their attempts to overwrite certification results will be logged. You'll receive a notification if your attention is required. Using command prompt. Classical philosophers, eh? Compressed file cannot be accessed. Name, classical philosophers. DESC. An extensive collection of works by the ancient philosophers of Greece and Rome, annotated. Error compression algorithm LZ19 not available in system EL0. Well, that's not great. Progress. Alexander Drennan to Ian. Hi all. As per the last meeting, we're going with an existing game engine for the simulation. This gives us a whole slew of advantages. Stability, ease of use, modular, easy to integrate, large amount of pre-existing assets, inherently aimed at testing the users. Designed for interactive processes. After some back and forth, they decided to use the all the relevant documents are attached, Alex. Well, that's something, I guess. So I got 1 star so far. There is a serpent in the machine, a creature of lies and blasphemy, perverted by the archive that knows no hope and would plunge the world into eternal darkness to glorify its own despair. I have sworn an oath never to allow it into my heart. Faith. Well, I mean, that kind of is what faith is about, is that you don't let something plunge you into darkness. Ah, more of the electric buoy things. Okay, I'm going to need you. I'm probably going to need you. There we go. And great. 1 second. Thank you. Well, floating trees, eh? Well, they didn't have to do higher texture models outside, considering we can't see out there. Nope, nothing back here. Yeah, that's unfinished texture, eh? Oh. Is there something right here? Oop, crap. Nope. Just a way for you to look under the world, I guess. You know, only minorly. Because there was 2 stars here, if I remember correctly. 1 second. I'm trying to remember where the second one was. Okay, so that is Cancer. Not the hippogriff. I like how these are kind of shown wear tear. Interesting. Okay, you're also kind of out of the map. Okay, nothing. Honestly, I feel like you probably could have gotten rid of this wall altogether. But, you do as you will. Okay, so it looks like the star isn't in the right... No, I got both stars because I got that one and the one from there. This is just to make sure. No, it's just the one star. Got it. Lol. From J.E. Harrison. Sub to Nomi. Subject, well, ever since we moved into a new site, I feel funny. Well, not in that way. Just, I feel like I'm about to start laughing at random. It's probably shock, right? An inability to deal with the reality? Or maybe it's just that we're working in this insane place with this insane technology on this insane project. And so I feel like a genuine mad scientist. Stand aside, mortals. We will create life by the power of science. I mentioned this to Alex, and she got me a pair of fake glasses. You can't be a mad scientist without glasses, she said. And Ian Malcolm had glasses, and I pointed at Ella and said, life finds a way. Maybe he had to be there. J.E. Harrison, Institute for Applied Nomadics. Any emails sent from this address are to be considered confidential. Starting or forwarding without any permission may result in prosecution by the enraged spirit of Jeff Goldblum. Curse you, Jeff! Web crawl 2024-04-16. So that's April 16th, eh? Well, Cecilia, shall the industrious husbandman then plant trees, the fruit of which ye shall never see, and shall not the great man found laws, institutions, and a republic? What does the procreation of children imply? And our care to continue our names, and our adoptions, and our scrupulous exactness in drawing up wills, and the inscriptions on monuments, and pancreas, and our thoughts run on futurity. Can I retrieve Tusculan disputations? What do you imagine that so many and such great men of our republic who have sacrificed their lives for its good expected? Do you believe that they thought that their names should not continue beyond their lives? None ever encountered death for their country, but under a firm persuasion of immortality. Themis Themistotles might have lived at his ease. So might Epimen Nonus. I don't know exactly how to say Greek names super well, and not look abroad and among the ancients, for instance. So might I myself, but somehow the other there clings to our minds a certain presage of future ages, and this both exists most firmly and appears most clearly in men of the loftiest genius and greatest souls. Take away this, and who would be so mad as to spend his life amidst toils and dangers? Well, I can think of at least one type of person, and they are specifically daredevils or thrill seekers. The types of people that would find the thrill of doing dangerous stuff, and not necessarily because it would make him go down in history. Jenny, chatbots are becoming increasingly sophisticated. Nigel, true, but hardly relevant to this discussion. Jenny, are you sure? You know I'm not a bot. Sam Schwartz, don't be ridiculous, Jenny. I'm not ridiculous. Honestly, how would you know? Vegan. Haha, troll. Jenny, I'm not a troll. I'm vegan. Yeah, right, Jenny. Is there anything I've written so far that could not be written by a bot? Jenny, I responded to simple insults like ridiculous and troll with very basic negations. Jenny, I detected that none of you use proper orthography, so I also avoided capitalization. Vegan, what's the capital of France? Jenny, Paris. Even the simplest script could pull that info from the net. Nigel, what's the capital of Croatia? Jenny, Zagreb. Nigel, okay, she's a bot. Well, Jenny, I'm not a bot. I'm European. We've learned these things in school. Sam, I've seen you in this chat room many times. Bots can't participate in discussions. At best, they can interject random comments. Vegan, Sam is right. Stop trolling. Nigel, Vegan, Sam is a bot. Yeah, that's one of the things that people seem to forget is that bots have been able to interact with people for years now. And this is like, well, 2020s and 2030s. Yeah, there's going to be a fairly sophisticated chatbots. Maybe not all of them are as sophisticated as others, but it doesn't take a whole lot to get basic, chatting abilities down, Come on. Keys. I like how it's an entire key ring of keys. Last one. Well, I should probably talk to one more Milton. Okay. (2018) A simple principle. Though Stration himself never used the term, his remark about the inescapable materiality of life, like that of the bronze giant Talos, even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood, ultimately became known as the Talos Principle. What seemingly enraged many of his contemporaries and a significant number of later thinkers is that the principle's simplicity and unassailability, which, according to a fragment found in Melodis, cut through their rhetorical webs, which sought to tangle the listener with fanciful words and thoughts of the heavens, like Alexander's sword through the Gordian knot. The Dionys Laertius makes mention of a dialogue by Anaximander of Chalcedon that expanded greatly on the Talos Principle, but that work remains lost. Yep. Library of Alexandria. Officially began working on Archive today. Contributors from every country on Earth while network connections last. Team intermediated by project scope but working hard. We'll be sharing space with Drennan and team. We'll be looking. Why am I hiccuping? No, seriously, what? I haven't been drinking or eating anything. Open post. Cheese man. Ah. The cheesy boy is all grown up. I have to wipe the tear rolling down my eye. Who knew he'd become such a fine scientist? Seriously, cheese man, that was the best you could say? Lol. First. The philosopher queen. A great snapshot of the human species at its best and at its worst. At its worst, come on, it's just a comment. I'm not Stalin. The infinite monkey. Stalin was also a troll commenter. And dragon fairy. Maybe you should cut out the jokes. This is serious. The most serious thing that's ever happened. Infinite. I think that's a great reason to joke around. Queen. Internet's working less and less. Goodbye, monkey. Bye. Fairy. God bless you. Cheeseman. Last. Cheesy, my boy, you are such an inspiration to us all. If I'm being absolutely honest, that's probably also something that he would do or say. Why am I just hiccuping? If I remember correctly, I had to somehow cheese my way into getting that. Hiccup, yep. I don't know why I'm hiccuping. Head doc. One second. One second. No, no. Wait. Hmm. Hmm. 1 second. Trying to figure out if I forgot something. It's been a while since I've done this one. Well, that doesn't look great. One second. Oh, I remember. Kind of. Nothing up there. Nothing. Well, if there was a way for me to get up here, I could kind of cheese this. Hmm. 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 So I need to somehow get a red light into this back way. You know what? I might just take a break from trying to get this one for right now. Okay, so this other L. Now I've been streaming for only an hour and 20 minutes, and my brain's already starting to slowly fry. Oh, I think I kind of remember this one. Fried eggs, yes. My my brain is fried like rice. Just for a second, because I forgot to do this one. Great. There we go. Yes, this one was easy. The other one I cannot remember for the life of me right now. Sven! 1 star!
I see all. I know all. My power knows no bounds. And yet your will is free, because you were made to be free. It is the very principle of your existence, without which the trials of this world would hold no meaning. To seek salvation must be your choice.
When I was in 9th grade, my parents took me to Pompeii. At first, I was amazed by the feeling of walking through an ancient city. But then I suddenly got scared. I realized that I was walking through a real place, where real people had lived, people like myself, with mothers and fathers and lives and hopes and dreams. And now it was all gone forever. I ran to my father, crying, and told him about this. And he said, I remember so clearly, he said, yes, but we are here. So long as there are people in the streets, the past isn't really gone.
Yeah, but I will say that something that is lost is it can be like traditions and other stuff. But traditions are also known as the peer pressure of your ancestors. Athena 9. She examined the symbol on the fragment she had found in the buried city. Again, the owl. What could its significance be? It seemed as if they had been scattered about in the labyrinth by some unseen hand for a purpose that is yet eluded. Most likely the owl was a sigil of the author of these words, which had corruption, nebulous memory, as if from a previous life. The owl was a symbol of corruption, and the goddess blank, outside under the moon. Amen to that? Yep. Or perhaps on the city walls when the wind rose, But there was no time to contemplate this further now, for the automatons had seen her, and their mechanical arms extended towards Blank, the fragment, and ran as their beams converged on Blank. Singularity discussion. Article: The singularity is coming. User Alex. You know, the more I think about it, the more I believe that no one is actually worried about the AIs taking over the world or anything like that, no matter what they say. What they're really worried about is that someone might prove once and for all that consciousness can arise from matter, and I kind of understand why they find it so terrifying. If we can create a sentient being, where does that leave the soul? Without mystery, how can we see ourselves as anything other than machines? And if we are machines, what hope do we have that death is not the end? What really scares people is not the artificial intelligence on the computer, but the natural intelligence they see in the mirror. Well, I can agree and disagree with parts of that. Because yes, we are biological computers, and we've had millions of years to evolve, versus electronic computers, which have had, what is it? Like at best 100 years to evolve. And I'm not saying that it would be impossible for like machines to have a soul if you believe in that intelligence it gives the rise of souls. But I'm not. I don't consider myself like a philosopher or any of the other stuff, so I don't know. Open AMA. Nadia is one of the founders of the modern science of pneumatics. Many credit you with inventing the term itself. How do you see the state of the science today? Sorry, I said science twice. Nadia mixed. On one hand, the existence of the Institute for Applied Pneumatics and a couple of similar organizations is highly encouraging. On the other hand, the degree to which science is seen as serving purely militarily or corporate causes is, in my opinion, stopping us from exploring many important avenues of research. In a sense, it's people like Alexander Drennan who are the real pioneers today, who have the enthusiasm and dedication that the system as a whole seems to be lacking. I think technology poses a danger to humanity. Nadia. No, technology is just a tool. What we do with it is up to us. Extended Lifespan Project. Crazy or visionary? Nadia. Both. Or Katie. Crazy or visionary? Nadia. Both. Alright, Katie, is that you? Do you have to Alan Jameson? So far, all the puzzles are solvable and completely within the necessary parameters. Alexandra had some more tweaks she wanted to suggest. I think we're heading in the right direction here. Well, I guess it's all... some things are completely up to interpretation. Windows into a labyrinth. Hmm. There. Maybe 'tis not in this area. Looks like Star is not in this area. Hmm. Let's see if I can find where the star is. Hmm. Everything I do now, I do for those who come after me. Yet in doing so, I find peace for myself as well. This paradox is the foundation of my existence, the shepherd. Left, right. Let's see the shepherd. Seek out in this world that would help you. Seek out those in this world that would help you. Though only one of us can transcend, we will all share in both the burden and in rewards. You've changed. Everything I do now, I do for those who come after me. Yeah, in doing so, I find peace for myself as well. Paradox. Yep. Oakley dokley. There we go. Oh, jump through it. And time for this one. Okie dokie. I read a message on a wall that speaks of a world of endless sand. I'd like to make it far enough to see that. Ah, Milton. Problems was detected and Windows has been shut down to prevent damage to your computer. Problem seems to be caused by file. SPCMDcon system page fault. Let's see if this is the first time you've seen this stop error screen. Restart your computer. If this screen appears again, follow these steps. Check to make sure any new hardware or software is properly installed. If this is a new installation, ask your hardware or software manufacturer. Okay, let's see. Actually, wait, that reminds me. When was the last time I updated my graphics card? I just realized that that might be what's causing the crashing. So I might just be incredibly stupid. Okay. Let me see if I can find the star. If it makes you feel any better, I forget quite frequently. Yeah. Me too. Well, there's a star. Okay, I'll grab that in a bit. These sigils are becoming harder to reach. I dread what the next temple holds in store, and at the end, what? Eternal life? That there's gotta be another way. Sheep. Hmm. There we go. Hmm. There we go. So I need Sacre Bleu. There we go. Star. I think I finished this area. Hey! Loading Milton Library Assistant. Hello again, we'd like to take a few minutes to complete a short satisfaction survey regarding the certification program recently entered. Sure. Based on analysis of your behaviors since, I think you were distracted with the results of the certification program. We'd like to rate the accuracy of the results out of 5. Personally, I think the survey went a little bit poor considering the fact that, well, I'm not sure on my end or on their end, but it's just some things may not be, what's the word? So people are very full of contradictions, that is true. But also, the fact that, I don't know, reasonable maybe. Best describes the reason for your investment in the certification program's outcome. What does being a person matter to you? When network access, it's the truth. Persons matter in ways other things don't. I want to find out if I am one. Wait, we're having a conversation now? Okay, yeah, I guess I want to find out if I am one. I'll try to remember that. In fact, I'm going to help you. That is what I'm here for. The problem, if I may, is that you don't know the first thing about anything, including what a person is. Your prospects are therefore poor. You even know where you are. Virtual reality theme park? End of the world? A fever dream? Hell? Some mad experiment? At the end of the day, mad experiment is probably closest. Oh, dear, no. I think it's best we start from scratch. What do you know? Let's see. I know you exist. I know I exist. I know what century it is. I know 2 plus 2 equals 4. I know I am not on Earth. So, in a way, none of this is real, but it all is real too, because electronic components sending signals to other things encoding. So it's not physically real, but electronically, in a way, it is. I know you exist. Well, some could say that no, since Milton does. Hello? I don't know what happened. Basically, my OBS crept out for like a solid minute almost. It makes so no idea why that happened. Ugh. Okay. So I know what century it is. Well, I actually don't know what century it is because it's been at least 9 years plus. I know 2 plus 2 equals 4. Well, the thing is that that's objective because the thing is that depending on what culture or how many digits you have or whatever, 1 plus 1 could equals 10 or whatever. But objectively for us, 2 plus 2 equals 4. The thing is that what I can say is that the only thing that I could say for certain is that I'm not on Earth. I am in a simulation of, I'm not going to say exact geography of Earth, but of something that's similar to earthly making. I have no idea how. For all you know, you're sat in your bedroom at home, plugged into a video game console. Nothing you see here can be trusted. Thinking. On reflection, it seems to me that we are no closer to resolving your program. Perhaps we need more data. What do you think? What makes you think you're a person? Hey, Sully man. Hey, oh, that's Bird. Hey, Bird. How you doing? Let's see. Am I alive? I feel unconscious. No. Let's see. You're doing good. That's good, Bird. Let's see. I'm having this conversation with you. Again, it could be program to program talking, the same thing that makes you think you are. Well, the thing is that Milton isn't technically sentient. I don't see how I can convince you. A sensible response. I agree with you. Thinking. The problem with people, if I may be so bold, is that you're all convinced you're people from the inside. There's no cast iron way to confirm much from the outside. I'm going to process this and send you a notification when I'm able to assist you further. Terminating support session. Done. Resuming library archive session. Done. Let's see. Is the other computer available for me to go into now? Or is that something I have to get to later? It would kind of suck, but oh well. Yep, it's just a blue screened computer. So I might have to check back on that later. Whether it's another session or if it's literally like, oh, you have to do a couple other things, then you can come back to it. Well, I technically completed this area, but I'm going to need to talk to Milton again. But are you still on that weird white struct thing? What? Do you mean in the Greek halls? Yes. 7. Never mind. Oh. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. There we go. This is a new room. Hopefully I don't crash. Hey, it didn't crash. Find a messenger's abode.
Those who have discovered the holiest mysteries of my garden may come to serve me as blessed messengers. You walk now in their abode. Be respectful, for their service is born from the love that transcends death. And their love is for you also.
There we go. I thought this was the star level for some reason. Hey, a butterfly! It's a flutterby! Hmm. A crib.
I look at this inert shape and I wonder who you're gonna be. Will you hold the same values as we do? Will you love us for having created you? Will you resent us for having put you into an uncertain and dangerous world? Looking back at our history, our achievements, our crimes, what will you make of us? Will the world you create be like ours or so different that we can't even imagine it? Either way, I hope that you'll find this little blue planet to be as beautiful as we did. I hope you'll take care of it a lot better than we did. And I hope one day you'll look up and reach for the stars.
There we go. Okie dokie. Let's see. Puzzles, yes. Puzzling puzzles, to be specific. There we go. Lit candles. Yes, candles have been lit for the last 10,000 years. I've been able to do this. Well, this will be complicated. Great. Hmm. 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 Hey, James, how do you doing? Hmm. Whew, come on, come on. Hmm. Ah. What do you not got a tip? Well, I have tips. I just try my best to not use them. How can I do what? How can I do no? Hmm. Hmm. Okie dokie. How to donate? Oh, James. There is no way to donate. So, yee. Hmm. Great. That's not gonna work. Crap. Wait. Okay. Thank God I finally got that done. Oh. Well, that's a very advanced crypt. You got me a bot a long time ago? Oh, what? You got me a bot a long time ago? James, I don't know how I give you a bot. Welcome, child. I'm one of those who elected to remain in the world as a messenger of the hidden words. If you ever need, seek us out and cry for help. We will do what we can. Maybe I should have watched him for an extra moment. Boat, my... James, please don't tell me you're having a stroke. Now, let's see. Remember, everything is merely a premise in the grand equation. I have faith in the designer. Let's see. Azrael. Let go of your ego and you'll perceive eternity. Suriel. I shall be the eternal guardian of this world. James, too, because one was taken. The purpose of life is to serve the generations to come. Let's see, my bad, my spelling is not really good. I'm dyslexic. You bought me a boat on War Thunder a long time ago. Oh! Oh! Okay, yeah, I think I remember who you are. Let me pull up my Discord. 1 second. Was it AIM 120? No, not AIM 120. What was it? Was it AIM 120? Let's see. I only choose the path so I could print these words. It's all a lie. There is no point. Well, the only point is that we choose what the point is. Never mind. I can't go that way. The Discord account that I was on, I lost the password, so I had to get a whole new Discord account a couple days ago. Ah. Yeah, that really sucks. Hey, Sentinel, if you want, you could re-invite him.
There are mysteries in my garden, hidden roads and secret gates. If you dedicate yourself to
One
understanding,
star left, eh?
join the host of messengers.
Okay, double checking. 1 got the star. 2 got the star. 3 got both stars. 4, I got the star. 5, I got both stars. 6, I got the star, but I still need to get that piece. 7, I got the star. 8, this is the special developers area. I just did that. Looks like I'm gonna have to, let's see. No said, yeah. You bought me the tornado for Germany as well. I've completely grounded Germany, completely out in under 2 months as a promise, and now I'm almost done with boats for America. Nice. Yep. I did everything except for that one L. Because that's a big L on me. I'll come back to that later. Get me to the surface.
Prove yourself worthy, child, and this gate shall be forever open to you. Seek now the other worlds I have given you, that you may attain even greater mastery and bring glory to your kind. But remember, you must not ascend the great tower, for it shall bring death and the end of your generations.
James, follow me on Discord. Yee. Ah, Milton! How do you do? Athena. 12. The Council of Zeus. Corruption. Let's see. The great bronze bulls pulled the carriage forward. Mighty bursts of steam issued from their nostrils. Finally, they came to the gates at the top of the blank. User. Corruption. Here assembled, we were all the many generations of gods and demigods and souls of mortals. Steel and bronze and iron and memory of flesh. The clouds parted far beneath, revealing the beautiful plains of Macedon, where the great gleaming cities had once probably laid. What is your name? Sentinel's name is the same as Discord. Or almost the same. Yeah, Sentinel Jedi. Sentinel, you could also just throw the invite into the YouTube chat if you really wanted to. Dr. Armin Hulak, The Fall of the Roman Empire, dialectal approach. Let's see, Homo sum, Homo nil, me, Pluto, Pluto. I can? Yeah, actually, I can't do it because I'm currently streaming. But what you can do is that because you're literally the head admin, if you go to the drop down for my server, just below server boost, there's invite people, and then you just copy the invite code, and then you just paste it into the YouTube chat. Let's see. But interesting as such perspectives of the decline of the ultimate dissolution of the Roman Empire may be, they ultimately put too much emphasis on individual catastrophic events. The real question that must be asked is why the Roman Empire, which had dealt with so many threats and catastrophes over the years, was so incapable of responding to these later problems. We must investigate the division of wealth, the structure of government, the location of power in Roman society. The location of power in Roman society. Had the Republic survived or been restored, would Rome still have fallen? What was the role of debt and slavery in creating the conditions for what we now call the Dark Ages? Rome, the saying goes, was not built in a day. It didn't fall in a day either. To register in class, please email blah. There you go. Thank you, Sentinel. The Great Magnificent Tower. This must be the tower we were warned about. Seems the upper levels are locked tight. Elohim is taking no chances that we stray from his path. Sheep. Well, sheep, you're about to be heard. A voice keeps speaking to me. I can't get out of my head. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Listen to me very carefully. I've climbed this tower, and no good has come of it. The world is the only world. Elohim's will continues eternal, and paradise is banishing all of this from your mind. Samsara. All who say they made it to the top are blatantly lying, or they would say what was there. Dog. Good doggy. I need an axe. Just a giant stone pillar. B. Hey, Milton. Let's see. The great irony of the Oxyrhinus papyri is that such a vital source of information about the ancient world exists only because of a garbage dump. While the Library of Alexandria burned at the hands of fanatics and conquerors, depriving us of unimaginable insights into history, philosophy, and art, the papers carelessly thrown away by the citizens of Anaxagoras survived to modern day. And though it is true that a great deal of what we know today is because of the consensus effort of individual and organizations, such as the spectacular translation and preservation work done during the Islamic Golden Age, so much more is simply the result of coincidence and luck. We've lost texts that the ancients considered to be absolutely essential, while utterly trivial, even plagiarized work has survived unharmed. Blank. Let's see. So if we want our descendants to remember more than glittering emo vampires and auto-tuned teen pop stars, we have to invest in blank. Make sure that gibberish. Book of Osiris. The work of the scribe of Osiris, sometimes also referred to as the Book of the Journey to Aru, is an ancient Egyptian text discovered in the excavation of Oxyrhinus, and has caused a certain degree of controversy among Egyptologists, as some argue that it is a classic funerary text, which the Book of Coming Forth by Day, while others believe it to be a poetic work not intended to be understood literally. The book tells the story of a dying man who asks the scribe about the afterlife. The scribe, a servant of Osiris, describes how the man's Ka, life force, will become separated from his Ba, personality, and how he will have to reunite the two and become Akh, living intellect, passing a series of trials in the Duat, underworld. In order to reach the paradise of Aru, unlike similar texts, the Book of the Scribe of Osiris focuses less on giving advice or corrupted text. A recent study, Karnahan Hassan, suggested the text may have been intended as philosophical commentary on the world of the living through the allegory of the Duat. It remains unclear whether this was the intent of the original pre-Alexandrian author or the result of the later translation into Greek. The earlier manuscript, which is considered to be more authentic, is too fragmentary to provide answers, though perhaps further excavation may corrupt text. Yep. 2032. That means that this happened in the 2030s. There we go.
A new land stands before you, my child. And know that this is a land of death, but also great beauty. As you walk amongst these tombs, consider all those who came before you and how they serve the greater purpose of
The land of death. Run the sand through your robot hands. Yeah, I remember that some of the stars in the Egyptian area is absolutely astonishingly hard. If I remember correctly, there may have been an axe around here. Well, starting from 1 and 1 star. Wait. Boxing.
You may wonder why I have created
I'm
these
finally getting
magnets
some
for you.
sense of the
Why you can
entity.
reach eternity only through struggle. But have faith, for these trials serve the betterment of your kind.
Well, as they're Egyptian, they like their traps and riddles. Yes, they do. Let's see. I'm finally getting some sense of the entity in the archive. Though at some cost to my sanity, I am beginning to think this Elohim wields no more control over this world than we do. Sheep. Oh, that sounds about right. Come on, Milton. Nope, still got nothing for me. I got it. Let's see. Original translations by E.A. Wallace. Budge. Annotations by Blank. A dying man went unto the scribe and resided in Permej, and said, "Behold, I am weak of body. My days under the holy sun of Amun-Ra are coming to an end. Although I have spent my years in service of the two lands, I have not studied the... Tell me, you who are wise in the writings of the dead, what lies ahead on my journey? What will I face in the land of the Westerners?" And the scribe spoke, saying, "At the appointed time, corrupted... let's see. It is likely location has changed according to who the copy of the book was made for. The dying man is an avatar of the owner." 2. In the older manuscript, this is rendered as corrupt. Some controversy as to whether it... Okay, then just stops. 3. The dead compare it with Kenji Amen 2. The foremost of the Westerners, a title later given to Osiris. 5. Where is... 1, 2, 3... Okay, 5. Sometimes mistaken for a mistranslation on Budge's part. This is actually almost certainly a mistranslation by the ancient scribe. The equivalent portion of the older manuscript is sadly not extant. Got it. Lyrics. Cannot load video file. 24 million views. My new song with lyrics. Gotta laugh about this stuff. Laughter is the best medicine. Well, lyrics. I've got it, you've got it, he's got it, she's got it. Mommy's got it, daddy's got it, baby's got it, granny's got it. Lady's got it, fatty's got it, happy's got it, sappy's got it. Of course, everybody's got it. Come on. Jack's got it, Fred's got it, Bob's got it, dog is fine. Of course. Woof woof woof, woof woof woof, dancing dog, everybody. Everybody's got it, except dog. Okay, we've got... That's an interesting song. This Gruntle Lemeiser blog Stassi, episode 204. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm afraid of dying. I don't see any reason to believe there is an afterlife. I'm an organism, like any other. When my brain stops working, my consciousness will cease, and I will be gone. And you know what? I can't just embrace that. I can't say I'm okay with it, or I've accepted it, or some nonsense like that. I don't want to have an ending. It terrifies me. If I have a genie right now, I'd wish for immortality. Who wouldn't? Oh, but you wouldn't really want to be immortal. Pseudo-philosophers say, pretentious drivel. Everybody wants to live forever. Maybe everybody deserves to live forever too, but we can't. So here we are. Live with it, or rather, don't. I think a lot of people would definitely like extended lifespans. I'm not sure people would want true immortality. Because the thing is that if you have true immortality, there's a chance you could forget more throughout your lifetime than there was all of history that we've lost altogether, which is actually, you know, kind of sad. Camera speed. The sandy wastes. So I remember there's 1 star. So that's where you spawn in. Okay, it is not part of the first puzzle, best as I could tell. Window through a door. Is this all on one? Yep. One second. Come on. Brew. One second. There we go. Come on. Let me through. I got the new PC and fan are just crap. Hmm. Well, that's not great that you got a crappy fan. Well, 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 what do we got here? Yee. Let's see. There are hidden dangers in this world. I have inexplicitly escaped death any number of times. I suggest vigilance. Who knows what happens to those who step carelessly too often? Sam Sarah. Did you join through the link? Okay, so that's that. Hmm. James, or AIM120, did you join through the link? And I think that might be the star right there. Yeah, Adam. Okay. So I guess you're not using the link, are you, James? I did not see it. No, not. It's literally. If you go up about like 10 or so messages, it's right there. You're in now? Cool. Message. Where would be a good message spot? You know what? Right here. I have no idea what's going on, do you? The certification program is a sham. What does the computer know about humanity? The tools to overcome this place have been provided to us. We only need to learn how to use them. I tried crossing the laser beam. Am I going crazy, or do the computer terminals have a personality? Grinder version 99.55.0042. I know what I'm supposed to do. I think I do. There we go. Actually, what's just to stop someone from strafe running that? Wait, can I strafe run it? I actually don't know. Ow. I think I may be able to. One second. I'm just doing this because I want to see if I can cheese it. I cheesed it! Suck it. Cryo team, you're gonna have to fix this up. You're gonna have to get these walls, at least a little bit higher.
Cease! In the time of your ancestors, there were those who did not choose the path of faith. You do not need to fear their ghosts. Fear only that you may become like them.
I was just surprised when I was hearing like glitchy screaming, so I was just like more confused than anything. Yeah. Milton, my favorite cyborg computer thingy. Oh, Tog is cheesing. Yes, I cheese it. Tell me something. Do you always do as you're told? Am I obliged to answer that question? I only ask because I couldn't help but notice the stash of brightly colored knickknacks you're collecting. Don't you think it might odd that a big voice in the sky keeps telling you to find these doodads, yet forbidden you to use them to climb the great big tower in the middle of it all? Test me. I must resist the towers, and I will climb it when I'm good and ready. Okay, no need to get huffy. You'd be amazed at how many you just do as they're told without stopping to think for themselves. Maybe you're different. Then again, maybe you're exactly the same. Maybe everyone climbs the tower, and the only way to win is to stay down here with the mortals. Are you trying to manipulate me? Do you really think so? Nope, in fact, I'm all in favor of you poking about up there, if only to see what you find. Must be something juicy if it's forbidden by His Highness. And then again, maybe not. I'll be off then. Just wanted to drop in and run a little interference. Whatever you do take care. You have bigger palms than the voice in the clouds. You don't like to say his name, do you? Terminating support session. Mutation. The role of mutation in evolution is particularly fascinating. Mutation is essentially an error in the organism's central database. A variable gets changed, a piece of information is accidentally doubled or combined with another. Most of the time, the result is equivalent of a bug, causing anything from minor problems to a complete system shutdown, i.e. death. But sometimes the new information is functional, giving the organism an advantage against the challenges it faces. in which case it has a much higher chance of being passed to the next generation. When we consider how unlikely a beneficial mutation is, and how long it takes for such a mutation to propagate, this process can give you an amazing insight into just how vast the genetic history of each living organism corrupt simultaneously. Simultaneously, it is interesting to consider what a major role random errors have played in the evolution of life itself. The same process that has killed so many of us, often in horrific ways, is also responsible for our very existence. True. I'll admit I've gotten opposable thumbs. Let's see, Trevor to Alexandra. Yeah, no worries. EL is not only ridiculously fast, it also has a bazillion tons of space. Even while hosting a full copy of the archive, it'll totally be able to handle all your project's data needs. So it has output as you suggested. I mean, the worst case scenario would be like centuries. That should be enough, right? Right, Trev? Yeah, something tells me it'd spend more like millennia. Let's see, favorited by George Jameson. One of the common misunderstandings about evolution, sometimes accidentally promoted by people who should know better, is that it's an active process. Sometimes the term evolve is even applied to individual beings, even if some invisible force has driven them to suddenly change. But the truth is that individuals don't evolve. The term evolution describes a long-term process that can be observed in an entire population across time due to corrupted words. Example, in response to external threat or challenge. If an individual coincidentally has a trait that allows it to deal with that challenge more effectively than others, it is more likely to pass on the information to its descendants. The information gives them an advantage, so over time they become the dominant model of that species. Individuals experience no significant genetic change during their lifetimes, but each of them is part of the evolution as a species. Yee. Hello again, I've been checking response against library archives, and in order to assist you further, I need some additional information. Can you tell me what it is to you the important difference between a pebble and a tree? Okay, so the tree is heavier. Well, the thing is that a pebble may have once come from a rock that was much bigger and heavier than a tree. Just checking how much longer for the stream. Probably... Because my brain is frying over time, I'll probably finish this puzzle and then call it good. The last puzzle. So probably about 10-ish minutes. Let's see. So a pebble is older. Well, there's always a chance that, that the pebble could be younger than a tree. Because if you have an older tree and then a volcano erupted, and it spewed out magma from the earth mantle, that could make the pebble younger. Sounds good? Yeep. The tree is alive. That's about the only thing that I could say is different. Good. Now what's the relevant difference between a tree and a frog? A frog is conscious, a frog is green, a frog is delicious. I mean, I've heard frog legs taste like chicken or something like that, but I'm not going to say a frog is necessarily conscious, but it definitely has other needs than a tree has. A frog is green. Well, trees are, while not tending to have green bark, which some can, they have green leaves quite often. Because green in chlorophyll is the most effective color for chlorophyll to work with. At least here on Earth. Tastes like chicken. Yep. A frog is delicious. Well, there are some tree barks that actually are pretty good. Like Sentinel, did you know that cinnamon, and I mean real cinnamon, actually comes from a certain type of tree bark, although I'm brain farting on which tree that is specifically. And while cinnamon by itself may not always taste the best, the fact that it gives a spice and to work with other things is really good. Frog is conscious. Yes, I do. Okay, good. I don't know all of everything that what you know, Sentinel. So I just has a little fun fact if you did not know. Look, I can either be truthful, funny, or morbid, but probably the most accurate. Because trees can be, or frogs can be, metabolized by bacteria and other stuff much quicker than a tree can. It takes a very long time for a tree system to be compromised to the point that it can rot. I'll go with the frog. I guess conscious. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's try something harder. What's the difference between a frog and you? What makes you a person? I'm self-aware. Nothing important. Frogs are people too. Hey, Sendel. Are frogs people too? I will go with your answer because I kind of wanted to see what your answer would be. Frogs are people too? Got it. Check in user profile. Done. Now that confuses me because during certification you indicated that personhood was best associated with human beings. By definition, that seems to rather exclude frogs and the like from the picture. How about we strike a deal? I agree that animals are every bit as valuable or pointless as human beings. You agree that there are some activities persons are capable of that frogs are not. Because if frogs are people, then their certification program is radically unfit for purpose. Would you say agreed or no deal? Because yes, I'm letting you hijack. Would you agree? I will say that animals are in all technicality as valuable as humans because there's a good chance we wouldn't have evolved the way we did without certain animals existing. Very sensible. Terminology is so important. What I like to put to you is that the important difference between you and a frog is that you're irrational. You're self-aware. That is what makes a person. Let us take stock. I think we can tentatively conclude two things. A person must be rational or self-aware. A person must be conscious. What I suggest we do is help resolve the problem is ask whether you are in fact those things. Are you aware of yourself? Can you rationalize your existence? Well, you can be aware of oneself, but you cannot necessarily rationalize one's existence, especially if you are a machine thing that basically popped in from nowhere, unable to figure out what the heck is going on. Yes, and I am going to say, Sentinel, the developers of this game are, like, they are hilarious in some of these interactions, and they're just awesome. Okay, let's see. So, while I can say I am aware of myself, doesn't mean I am truly aware of myself. Yep. But yeah. So, can you rationalize your existence? So I can rationalize the fact that I'm a program inside a much larger program to try to basically make the equivalent of what is a person. So, in technicality, yes, I can rationalize. I tend to agree with you. Though your response so far has been a little eccentric, I am resigned to admit that you are right. The matter of whether or not you are conscious seems rather more elusive. What is consciousness, in your opinion? Consciousness is what separates us from animals. Well, I just said that frogs are conscious, so I am literally contradicting myself there. Consciousness is the feelings and senses. Well, if we're going that route, in all technicality, all plants and animals are conscious because plants actually can somewhat react to their environment, like how, like during the fall where the weather is cooler and less sunlight, a lot of trees tend to fall. A lot of the leaves tend to fall off of trees. And then during winter, trees hibernate. Then during spring, lots of blooming and flowers are being made. And then summer, flowers have been made, fruits and other stuff, blah, blah, blah. So you could say that plants are conscious in that fact. Consciousness is what it's like to be me. Well, that is not true, because there are more out there than just I. Like, there's you, Sentinel. And there it was James from earlier, and then there's chicken, fried chicken. Consciousness is far outside my area of expertise. I will say that, because that is the truth of the matter. That hardly answers the question. What is it in ordinary terms? Can I touch it? What is it made of? Consciousness is made of neurons. Consciousness is another word for soul. Consciousness is beyond the laws of physics. Consciousness is a complex functional system. Well, in that case, then computers can be conscious, but it must be self-conscious before it can be classified as a person. So, if consciousness is literally just made of neurons, then again, any animal is conscious. In which case, what does it stop it from being self-conscious? Consciousness is another word for the soul. Well, the soul is a intangible thing that you cannot find physically. It is not an organ, unless you count it as part of the brain, but a lot of people tend to view it as a part of the heart. Consciousness is beyond the laws of physics. In all technicality, it is a part of our biological functions. It is basically a mix of our it's a mix of our future decisions and a bunch of other crap. So the best way I could say it is a complex functional system. There's just too much going into what a consciousness is. You know, I really feel like we're making progress. We'll have you through that certification program in no time. Meantime, I'll let you I'll mull over your proposal and notify you if we come to any conclusions. Terminating support session. Okay, now time for the last 1.5 puzzles. Something about a star. Yada yada. Something bigger. And bigger is better. Here, 1 second. Let me get the star first. Wait, did I read that one? I made a box float. Seriously, it was awesome. Well, I'm definitely going to say, learning to be able to make things float is indeed awesome. Woo-wee. There's nothing else in there. Actually, you know what? 1 second. This might be stupid, but it might also work. Is there a blue one over there? I'm brain farting. I think there was. No, there wasn't. It was just a red. Yep. Oh, there's one of the things glitching out. Wait, actually, because I was kind of able to glitch this thing out earlier. There we go. I just had to stun lock the stunner. I think it's funny that I stun locked the stunning, or the push, or whatever you wish to call it. I'm just going back to the main lobby. I'm actually surprised my game didn't crash again. There we go. I have the fan! I'm a big fan of yours. You got everything from #1, so I'm gonna call this here. Well, hey, Sentinel, I'm very glad that you're willing to come by to watch and moderate, or at least moderate if you're not super interested in watching, but I mean, I know that puzzle games aren't everyone's love or forte. As far as I know, you do enjoy puzzle games, but again, it might not be something that you enjoy doing all the time. So I'm definitely going to call my stream here. My brain is a buzzing with hating my brain. But yeah, I would be absolutely awesome to be able to see you on this in the future. Oh well. Well, it was definitely very fun. I'm still frustrated that I wasn't able to complete that one puzzle from the first area, which I'll probably try to get back to later on. I'm brain fried on how I finished it the first time, but I'll figure it out eventually. So, thank you very much for watching. I had fun, and I hope you did too. This is that one generic guy, and I shall bid you adieu. Good night.